What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Chris and Matt on Movies. Yes, it's been a while. We have been gone for the past couple of weeks. We had a little bit of dilemmas to go through, opening with the tournament and then dealing with some things. So we haven't been around in the past couple of weeks. But tonight we have a live show. Tonight we are here live for an hour tonight. So you guys are going to get to see us for an hour total tonight. We're going to have this is just a shorter episode today. I'm supposed to have a special guest, but he hasn't got back to me. So in a little bit, Sue Breath is going to be coming in and talking to me. So Sue Breath will be joining us if he can. We have not heard anything from Sue Breath. So hopefully he'll come in. Tonight on Chris and Matt on Movies, it is just myself. Matt is busy seeing a pretty fantastic film called Baby Driver. So look forward to that. Tonight's just a pretty short episode. It's going to be a 30-minute episode. It's going to be a really short episode. We'll continue with the 2-hour show next week when Matt comes back. Because we're going to be going, we'll talk about that later. We'll also talk about the Hall of Fame, which we're going to break into because later tonight, in a few hours actually, we are going to have the official video that will be going up live on the channel of the very anticipated Hall of Fame inductees. I've been working really hard on this, trying to find the right time, and it comes out in a few months from now, so in December. But tonight we're going to be pretty much just unleashing the things tonight. So I'm very excited for you guys to check that out. Like I said, it's going to be a short episode tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun, but let's just get ahead and get to it, guys. Let's start off with some of the news. Now, this has been a pretty weird news week. So, I mean, it's been obviously really, really weird news this week because the first thing we're going to start off with, guys, let's talk about it. The Han Solo. Lord and Miller are officially dropped out of Han Solo. This was a huge shock to me. When I heard this, I've heard a lot of dilemma. Look, the Han Solo dilemma is going nuts right now. It is crazy, and it's hard to believe that, but it's true. The Han Solo dilemma is absolutely, without a doubt, stupid. It's completely stupid. And I'm watching this, and I'm seeing this, and it completely blows my mind that this is happening. You know, it feels like a fairy tale dream. There's a coaching acting hired. The editor was fired. It's completely obscene and very weird. And I think that the fact that this is actually happening feels like a fairy tale. It really does. It feels like a complete fairy tale. But, you know, what are you going to do, I guess? Look, I really don't know how to react about this. It sucks. And, you know, it's unfortunate, but that's just how things go. You know, It's really tough. You know, I can't really speak much on it because, you know, it's a little shock is what I know. It's because I wish things could have been a little better. I do. I really, really do. But, you know, that's just how things are. And it's unfortunate. And I wish nothing but the best for these guys. Ron Howard's finishing the movie. So without doubt, let's move on to the next. Carnage is going to be in the Venom film. We'll talk about the Amy Pascal thing, which I thought was really funny. And that is that Carnage and Venom will be in the film for the Venom movie. This is pretty interesting. It's really unique. And it's very, very interesting. You know, it really is. Give me one second, guys. It's really interesting. I think that it really works well. But anyway, yeah, Carnage and Venom I think is a very interesting topic. I like what this is doing. I think this is really interesting. I can't wait, you know, but the Amy Pascal thing I think is hilarious. I think it's really, really funny. It's really interesting with the way they're doing this thing because it's really funny. What's going on with this topic is that it's hilarious to me, is that you can obviously tell Kevin Feige doesn't want this going out. He doesn't want this, you know, he hasn't confirmed it. But yet, it's really weird because the Venom thing is really interesting. I love to see Carnage and Venom, who are two of my favorite MCU villains, Marvel villains, and it's really interesting But I feel like now that we have the rated R thing, I feel like it's a thing to see where the Marvel thing is going, because since Deadpool and Logan did it so really well, everybody wants to do it now. Rated R Venom, I think, is great, but if you're putting Craven and Mysterio in this movie, Matt Beer said it best. I'm ecstatic for this movie, but he said, I don't want it to be The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I thought about that. I don't want that either. I don't want The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I think if they handle it right, and Ruben Fletcher, who has unfortunately made a bad movie with Gangster Squad, I hope he can really do well. I really do. I hope that he can fix whatever he's doing. I hope he does the right thing. I would love to see him do the right thing, but we don't know. I think we don't. We'll have to find out when the movie comes out. I'm ecstatic, but same thing with the Han Solo drama. I wish it couldn't be as bad as people are saying it is. I think that is the unfortunate thing. But moving on from this, it's interesting. It really, really is. Over the weekend, though, so moving on into other stuff, we'll talk about the Transformers in a second. Super Athlete is going to join us in a few minutes, so we'll get into that. But let's move on to some more topics. Some other topics I really want to discuss. So I am going to search because I was not prepared for this. Matt's out of town, but things like that. We'll talk about the movies coming out this week. We have a movie coming out tonight called Baby Driver, which I have seen, so we'll talk about that. I think that when we talk about, so we moved on. We talked about Star Wars, Han Solo. We talked about the Marvel thing. I'm trying to see what else we need to talk about. Oh, okay. So there's this thing I read this morning was that Peter Parker is apparently gonna be in the Amazing. He's in Iron Man 2. I think this is really funny. The thing I've heard is he's in Iron Man 2, and the scene in Iron Man 2 where the kid's blasting at the thing, and he's going, "Nice shot, kid." That is Peter Parker. It was a fan theory that was confirmed recently. I love this fan theory. I think this fan theory is really cool. I think it's really funny, and I think it's really great because we've got Spider-Man coming out, which is getting rave reviews. Dawn of the War, the Planet of the Apes, is getting rave reviews. It's nice to see these movies and things like that. So people are breaking out and saying stuff like that. But it's very interesting, and I'm really excited. And then another thing that just happened recently was just confirming right now is The Conjuring 3 is happening. James Wan said it is happening. I'm very excited. I want to see how this is. I think the first film is, in my humble opinion, still the best movie in the prior horror films this decade. It's the best horror film I've seen this decade. The Conjuring 2 is fantastic. So I'm really interested to see what they are going to do for this final film, because I don't even know if it's going to be another film after this. I would be fine with the Collider trilogy and Conjuring trilogy, and very good. So, okay. One second, guys. I'm getting our guest on. So while we're doing that, let's talk about some other stuff. So while we're waiting for our guest, we'll talk about one last news. So I think we have a couple more topics to talk about before we get into the thing. I'm waiting to get from Subrath. And James Wan will not direct The Conjuring 3, by the way. It's announced recently he will direct some. Usually, I think this is interesting, but I'm waiting for Subrath. And then a couple more things we're going to talk about before we get into the big news. And that is one of my favorite movies from last year is getting a sequel. So it was announced yesterday before we break into it. So we're waiting for Subrath. So it was announced that The Conjuring 2, not The Conjuring 2.
Yo.
There he is. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm fine. Just woke up.
Okay. We're going to talk about one last news, and then we're going to get into some stuff. We'll talk about the tournament, and we have a Hall of Fame video announcing the inductees, which we'll get into in a little bit. But we were talking about how The Accountant 2, for news, the last news of the event, The Accountant 2 is happening, and we'll let you first off. Thank you for coming on. Subrath is one of our new guys. For those who do not know, we haven't been on in the last 2 weeks. Subrath is now part of our crew. Aaron, unfortunately, cannot do it anymore. So Subrath has joined to help us, and he also helps us out with Movie Battleground. So, yes, you will see him a lot more if he can on Chris and Matt on Movies. But first off, what is your thoughts on the Accountant 2 happening?
Accountant, first of all, I'm glad to be, didn't expect to be part of the crew then. But it wasn't. It was truly unexpected. I didn't expect it to make a sequel because, like, I thought the first one was only like a one-off standalone.
Yeah.
John.
Did you like the first one?
The first one. It was like John Butler character was supposed to die, but then they left him alive.
Yeah.
Basically.
Did you like the first film? I thought it was fantastic.
Well, yeah, of course, I really liked it. You know, it's like we get to learn about what he is, what his job is, which is basically an accountant for, criminals. How he can, like, embezzle money without anyone noticing.
Yeah.
Like, help them.
I really liked what they did with the autism thing too. I thought that was fantastic. So I'm very interested to see if they're going to continue that. But moving on, we're done with the news. So now
they have to. It's part of his character because autism, you saw how he, used that. Or what was that? A stick or a ruler or what?
I believe so.
Standing it on his leg. Was that like a method by people who suffer autism?
I think that was like to calm, because I know I have a small disability with that, but I think that was to like calm and stress. Everybody has a sensory thing, and I think that was the sensory thing.
Yeah, and then he broke it.
Yeah, he did break it. Well, people have anger issues. Moving on next. So we're going to get into this Transformers debate. We're going to move on. This is a short episode. We're going to get into this Transformers debate. Subrath, you have not seen The Last Night yet, have you?
I really have not. Do I need to?
Have you seen my review?
Your review, I've not seen. Because I'm trying to avoid any type of spoilers, which I don't know why.
He's seen the Facebook. I'm guessing you've seen the Facebook post I put.
Yeah, I have.
One question for you with this. Is this movie series ever going to fucking end?
I don't think it will. I don't think Monday will ever, he's saying he's going to quit. No. They'll show him the money, he's going to come back. For 6 7 for the 101. He's going to keep coming back. They might, as well, put a life support on him as he get older. To keep making shitty Transformers movies.
No. Look, he has such good potential, though. When he does Bad Boys 2, he does movies like 13 Hours in the Rock. He knows how to make great movies, but when he goes into these Transformers films, he doesn't. And that pisses me off.
That's why. I mean, when he does Transformers movie, all he does want to do that is just for the money. I mean, this guy is set for life. He made like, a $1 billion franchise. I mean, he's set for life. Children, his great-grandchildren will benefit from it. But
well, I mean, he's probably married to a model.
As a passionate filmmaker, I'm not filmmaker, at least I'm a movie fan. He's destroying my childhood.
Yeah, I know, me
I
too.
know it's like 1980s Transformers movie on
Yep.
TV when I was a kid. That was the first time I already got into Transformers. I have to admit, the first Transformers made by Michael Bay was decent.
I
At
thought it
least
was
it was
honestly,
decent.
I thought it was great. I did.
Not really that much actually. I didn't like the Michael Bay used Megan Fox's
Hey, her body ain't
I
that
mean
bad.
he showed
In the
her.
first movie, her body's not that bad to look at, and now she's had all plastic surgery. So, I mean,
Yeah, I agree. The second one was bad.
second one
Third
was
one was the worst. Third one was the
no.
worst.
I think the fifth one is the worst. The fourth one comes really close, but
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. If I've
He
said
went that
before,
low.
I
He
if you
went
don't
that
watch my
low.
review, the
That
first
time.
movie, it completely. Even though the fourth one was awful and it's up there too for the worst movies I've ever seen, they managed to have a good thing with Mark Wahlberg. They did. They really did. And then they just completely ruined everything. Like my favorite thing ever in this
Yeah.
movie is the Bud Light thing in the fourth one. They completely ruin that and try it again with this fifth one, and it's like feels repetitive. We've seen this fucking shit before. What I like is the Bumblebee movie has somebody else help me in. We'll see how that goes, but I'm pretty much done with these movies. I've tried, and I've given Michael Bay every single time, but every single time he lets me down. This was the final straw for me. These movies have to fucking end. I'm sick of seeing these movies. It's like fucking Twilight, but Twilight fucking ended after 5 movies. Transformers 5, not
Thank God.
spoiling it, set something up for a 6th. Michael Bay said this was the last one. Why the fuck does he keep lying to people? I'm sorry, but this is fucking bullshit.
I mean, he's gonna keep making. He's coming. No, he's going away, coming back. When you see Transformers have earned, this guy, he's
I think it made
basically
like 60
relying on
million,
Trans-
which
I
is the
mean,
lowest
that's
Transformers
domestic.
I think ever. I think it's the lowest grossing Transformers movie opening.
That's domestic. You have to see is the international because it opened big over here in Asia. So
Yeah.
and
All right. Well, before we move on to this,
okay.
okay. I knew this was, I think, is the lowest grossing.
So far, it has earned 272.4 million worldwide. Yeah. Already recouped its budget. Its budget is up to 270 million. I mean, if you think this franchise is going to end, you have to think again.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on from Transformers. Coming up this week, guys, we have a really fantastic film called Baby Driver, which you guys need to go check out. I've seen the movie.
Oh, I really want to see that.
I know Matt is actually seeing the movie as we speak, and then tomorrow, the lucky guy over here gets to go see Spider-Man. Matt will be at the Spider-Man screening tomorrow. I will not. I will be seeing it next week. So I just don't have time. But tomorrow I will be seeing Despicable Me 3, so we will have a review for that whenever the embargo is. I think the embargo is dropped, so look forward to that Thursday. Besides that, let's talk about Edgar Wright, because I think we're going to talk about this before we'll get into the obvious one before we wrap the show up, because this is a short show. We'll be back on our 2-hour schedule when Matt comes back for the Spider-Man episode next week. But let's go ahead and discuss. Let's do some Edgar Wright talking. So, Brett, I'm going to let you start this one off. Pick any Edgar Wright movie you want to talk about, and we'll discuss it. So go ahead.
Truthfully, I've not seen any other of his movies. This is Baby Driver is the first one I've actually taken notice of.
Dude.
But which one I missed?
All Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh man, I have not seen that.
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, I've seen bits and pieces of that.
Hot Fuzz.
It's like a Hot Fuzz. I've seen Hot Fuzz.
See, Hot Fuzz is one. The World's End.
No. At World's End, I'm not seeing it because I
The
know
World's
it's a
End.
trilogy.
The World's End is one I'm
It's a trilogy, right?
I think that movie's fantastic. But go ahead, talk about Hot Fuzz.
Well, it's like very weird experience of a movie for me. Like everyone's getting shot everywhere, and Simon Pegg is just being Simon Pegg, always funny. Like and his partner, I forgot what's his name.
Nick
His
Frost.
partner, Nick Frost. I mean, he's just panicking all over the place. And
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton is the highlight of this movie, and the way he was killed off. Really, it was really over the top, and I really love it.
The thing about Edgar Wright is he does such a great time of humor. He's just so good with comedy. And there was an article that released that he will never watch Ant-Man because he wrote Ant-Man. He's never going to watch it because he was supposed to do it and he dropped out. We've already talked about this.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Because I look, if there's Marvel fanboys here is just gonna shit on what I'm saying, I don't care. Because Kevin Feige, I know he wants this cinematic universe to work, but he needs to let the directors do what they want.
See, he's kind of
What
like
he
I heard
wants.
Warner Brothers is worse though than Kevin Feige is.
Warner Bros. They did fucked up big time on Suicide Squad, giving only 6 weeks.
But Wonder Woman was fantastic.
Yeah, that's when they let her, Patty Jenkins do what she wants.
Yep.
I just have to tell you, David Ayer was only given 6 weeks to write a script for the movie. 6 weeks. Can you imagine?
That's pretty bad.
Exactly.
That's
why the movie was all over the place. Okay.
So let's move on. The last time we're going to talk about, because right after this, I'm going to be recording the very first episode of Inside Movie Debates, ranting on shit. I believe you're going to be on that, I think.
Which one is it?
So we're doing that debate show, the first take thing for Movie Battleground.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably do that because I want to talk when we're talking about the finalists. So I might have you join me for the Hall of Fame induction as well. But moving on from that, the tournament is beginning this week, guys. We have the tournament. We are going to be recording both of our matches this weekend. So look forward to that. I think they're both going to go up live. Let's go ahead and let's give some predictions. Because Subrath, who do you have winning between the number 3 seed Lucas and the number 6 seed? The winner of this will be in the Final Four. Now, whoever wins between us two as well, Final Four, if you do not win in the Final Four, you automatically, for Summer Fights, get to have a number 1 contenders match. So that still is pretty important. So here's what's going to happen. Subrath, you give your vote for Lucas versus Linus, and we'll discuss this. But who do you got winning?
Who I got winning between us, or is it
between Lucas and Linus? We'll talk about you and me in a second.
Lucas and Linus. Well, Lucas, I mean, I know he likes politics, so maybe he has that,
See, I've been studying politics, so I know that a little bit.
Yeah, so, I think I have Lucas winning this one against Linus.
See, I
have no idea
we've never seen this kid, though. Yeah, we never seen him play. That's the thing.
But, he's good at debating. I can, I have a feeling he's going to win this because I've never heard of.
You have him winning the tournament, huh?
No, not the tournament. I have him winning the match.
Okay.
Yeah, but the tournament.
We'll talk. Hold on. We'll talk about the tournament in a second. We'll break that down. But let's just talk about the match itself.
Okay. Well, yeah, I have Lucas.
I have Lucas as well. I haven't seen this Linus kid play, so I'm very interested to see how he plays. But Lucas is pretty good. Lucas is really good. He's a contender right now for Rookie of the Year. We'll find out who the winner is on Monday. But he still is a really good rookie. So I know how this goes, and I'm very excited to see how he does this. But, as an analyst, I study the plays and I watch these, and Lucas is a very tough competitor. Let's go ahead and talk about you versus me.
Oh, boy.
This is going to be fun. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. If you beat me, I'm retiring fighting. Done.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
So if you beat me, I'm retiring and I'm just sticking to judging and being an analyst. I'm the Charles Barkley of this group. So Matt Shack. So, but like I'll just focus on analysts because that's what I do. But I don't see you beat me, man. I really don't. I've been working really hard at studying. You know, right now I'll talk to people. I am the favorite right now. You ever feel like that pressure is a little?
Yeah, of course. Everyone feels the pressure before going to a debate on anything, because, like, I mean, you say you're just going to retire if I beat you. See, that's another pressure on me. Because, like, even beating you, it would be like, losing another, great competitor.
Mm-hmm.
If I lose, which I won't, I mean, I'm just gonna do my best to try and beat you. If I don't, then good luck for you. I mean, like, good luck for you.
And how about this? If you lose and Linus loses, we'll put you guys in a match.
Me and Linus.
Yeah, if you lose.
Yeah, but I have to see who this kid is because I've never heard of him before.
All right.
Probably
let's move.
Just some kid Lucas picked up before the match. I mean, like, you better beat.
All right, so let's talk about the tournament real quick. Let's break down the tournament. So I'm gonna put this on ranking. So round one, you have Lucas versus Linus. We already broke that down, and then we have you versus me.
Okay.
So the winner will play in the final four. Now the final four will be between. So if Lucas wins, Lucas will play Jacob. So let's just say right now, Lucas versus Jacob. Because I'm the favorite.
I have Jacob.
Hold on, we'll talk about that in a
I have
second.
Jacob.
Give me 1 second. And then the final four, just say, favorite, just say, I beat you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
And it will be me versus Gen 2. So let's break down the final. Let's break down the final four. Lucas versus Jacob. I got Lucas in this one. Because we have two guys who are competing. This is probably we'll talk about the MVP thing in a second because that was a big one. That was probably the most deadest tie I've ever seen in my life. That was a really hard tie. But Rookie of the Year, it's been really back and forth. I think it kind of breaks down to this match. Who's going to win? I think whoever wins this will become the Rookie of the Year because you have Lucas and you have Jacob, which I have Lucas. I have Lucas winning. I think Jacob is really good. I've seen the World War movies match. We'll talk about that at Inside Movie Debates. I've seen him play. I've watched him play. He's the first player to ever have a 4-0 knockout. Jacob is. But based on debating, I think Lucas can beat him in I think it's going to be a shootout, but I think Lucas is going to win. I think Lucas is going to be playing for the championship because whoever wins this, mind you, is a rookie, and the rookie will be the first ever contender for a championship, mind you. This would be the first ever rookie to ever play in the championship, and if Lucas wins, or Jacob, they're the first rookie ever to win a championship. So that's a big deal. But I got Lucas, so go ahead.
Well, honestly, it's going to be a close match because I think Jacob will win this one. But it's going to be a very close match. Like one of the World War matches where it was between Doman and Jacob.
Yeah.
And it was a very close match. It's going to go something like that. First maybe Lucas or Jacob will get the first point, and the other will get the next point. Whoever answers, whoever wins the final point, it's gonna come down to that.
Yeah, I think that'll be the first ever tiebreaker since Jen and Chris. So, all right. So that means Jen versus Chris. Who do you got winning that match?
Jen and you. I have Jen on this because I have Jen on this. I mean, I was rooting for her when she was facing against Chris.
Yeah.
I was surprised she lost.
Yeah, it was.
I thought she had the match.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think due to that, I think we were looking for that final topic. And it was Chris by a little bit. I think Chris had that win. But Jen has been wanting that chance back ever since, and I'm not ready for Jen. I think Jen's going to win this whole thing. I think she's even going to become the champion. I do.
Really? I told you.
This is the year of the queen. I will say this right now. What?
Year of the queen.
Year of the queen. Yeah, so you're the queen. I think it's kind of tough to say. She just recently won the MVP. She's got that title. I think this is tough to say because we're in this new decade where Matt Beer said it best. Chris Stoneman is like the Bill Russell. So Chris Stoneman is the Bill Russell. Jen Kemp is the Showtime. She's the Magic Johnson. And so you're looking at Jen Kemp, who without a doubt will be an instant Hall of Famer. There's no way, if we're looking at this and it's Lucas versus him or Jacob versus him, I don't think any of those guys can beat her. It's tough to do that, but that's just how it is. So breaking that down, that's our tournament analysis. The winner of this will play in the championship match on Summer Fights at the end of next month. But without further ado, I think I'm just going to announce it now. The MVPs, not the MVPs, the finalists for the Hall of Fame have been announced, and we will be officially announcing the thing. I was aiming for December. If we need to push it early, we will. But your finalist, before we get into that, Mr. Subrath, you want to guess anybody who you think is going to be in the Hall of Fame? There will be 4 guys this year.
I'm guessing Jacob.
Guess who you think?
I'm guessing Jacob. I'm guessing Jacob.
I think they have to be retired from something to be considered. That's the rule. So.
Okay.
So out of all the guys who are retired,
because he retired.
Chris Stoneman retired. Matt Beer retired. I retired. Evan left, retired. A lot of people. Aaron Turner retired. Who do you think is going to be guessing? Who do you think will be at least included in the Hall of Fame? And I'll put this out on the post too.
Of course, Chris Stoneman is going to be on it, but
yeah, I think that's pretty much a guarantee. Chris Stoneman will be on it.
Yeah, but I want to see Aaron Turner on it as well.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and break down. Are you ready to announce the finalists? I'm going to put the post up now. When you do, but we will announce it live on the show. Here are your guys' 4 finalists for the 2017 Movie Battleground Hall of Fame. Your Hall of Famer inductees will be Chris the Streak Doman, 6 wins, undefeated, the first TKO, the first champion ever in our league, the only guy to only stay undefeated. Evan DeGraff, one of the founders of the great world that is Movie Battleground. Matt Beer, one of the greatest comeback wins in history, winning 3 wins straight. And not voted by me, though, but myself, one of the founders, the founder of the league, has been at least honored as a founder for the first ever year. So those are your 4 nominees this year. Aaron Turner was on the list, but he didn't make it this year, so hopefully we'll find out next year, but he will be back in the nominees next year. Mr. Subrath, reading these nominees, your thoughts, positives, negatives?
I'm just bummed that Aaron is not on it, but I just remember that Chris is, yeah, of course he deserves it, He was a champion, but then, retired due to some issues. I'm glad he's on it. Evan, as much as I don't like how he's, been competing in a movie trivia showdown or the WWMT now, yeah, I think he deserves some recognition.
Yeah. What about Matt Beer?
Jen is on. Jen
is not on there. No, she's still competing. She is not going to be on here this year.
Okay. Matt Beer. Anyway, he's not competing?
He retired, remember?
Okay. I think Matt Beer, he still has a lot on his tank, but he retired too soon.
I think the reason why he retired, though, was also he's now the guy running the show.
Okay.
And that's why he left. I think coming back, I think when we're looking at this, he also had a 3-win streak. I don't think if he didn't have that 3-win streak, I don't think he would have been on the list this year. I don't. But I think that 3-win streak had a lot to do with it. Now, he never had the title. Same as myself. Charles Barkley never had a title. So, he's one of the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah.
But, yes, those are your inductees. And your thoughts on, you want to congratulate me as well?
Yeah, congratulations, guys.
Man, I
You
appreciate it.
deserve that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that will be happening in September. So look forward to that in September. I'm gonna move it a little upper in September. We will have somebody speak for somebody. So like what we do with the Hall of Fames, we have somebody introduce us, talk about us, have a little speech prepared for us before these guys come up. So I'm hoping Chris Doman and Evan DeGraff can come. We're gonna aim a lot. I'm guaranteeing now that they got honored, they will come because they want to make a final goodbye. You can guarantee we'll be there, but yes. So if we need somebody hosting the thing, we'll probably get Sue Breath. We'll probably have you and Max maybe roast us or do something like that. How about that?
I'll be mostly Evan, is the easy target.
He pretty much is, and Evan is also the guy most famous for complaining. We love you, Evan, but yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna miss him.
We are really gonna miss Evan. Can we just say that? Yeah, but he is at least gonna be honored. And if he wants to come back, he's more welcome to come back. But I mean, this is a pretty good first year list. Would you agree?
Yeah, of course. Like it has its up and downs, but we went through it, and
yeah,
that's what matters.
Yeah. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up here for our show. We're about to go do the Inside Movie Debates. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Subrath, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on every social media platform, like Instagram, Facebook. I'll be mostly on Facebook on this Movie Battleground Facebook page. I'm actually creating the logo, which hopefully will be up by 1st of July.
Okay, you said July 1st, right?
Yeah, July 1st.
That's Saturday.
Yeah. So yeah,
alrighty.
That's all.
All right, well, you guys can find me always here on Chris on Movies. The first episode of Inside Movie Debate is up tomorrow, so look forward to that, guys, at 5 o'clock Eastern. We're going to go record that actually right now. That's going to be a fun show. Look forward to this weekend, guys. The tournament begins. We got me versus Subrath, Linus versus Lucas, and then a special post-game analysis with myself and Harvey. So look forward to that, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, go to our Facebook page, Movie Battleground. It's an open thing. You guys can join us on there. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Matt will be here next week, but we'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.